Welcome to the Judges Briefing for Interpretive Reading. The task requires students to select and rehearse a reading from either a piece of prose or poetry. Fictional or non-fictional prose is appropriate, and students may either present a text in full, as with a brief short story or poem, or present an extract from a longer work. As a judge, you are concerned with how the reader's voice and delivery adds to the material being presented. This is not about the talent of the writer of the original text. It is about how the speaker brings these words to life. You are not assessing the quality of the text itself. However, students should select an extract that allows them to demonstrate their vocal skills and which they are able to present effectively and authentically. The reading needs to be preceded by an introduction that may last up to 1 minute. This introduction is included within the speaker's speaking time. The purpose of the introduction is to provide context for the reading and explain why it has been selected. The introduction should aid the judge in understanding what is taking place and what to look for in the student's reading of this piece. It is important to note that this is a reading and not a dramatic presentation. Speakers may either stand or sit, but they should not move around or excessively act out sequences. There are no marks to be given for visual presentation within this task. The only marks are for how the piece is read aloud. The criteria for interpretive reading are as follows. Firstly, the quality and helpfulness of the introduction. Secondly, clarity of diction and vocal modulation. The reading should be presented with clear enunciation so that it is easy to follow what is being said. However, the reading should also be dynamic, in order to capture the action and emotion of what is being described. Students may attempt to do this in many different ways. For example, through the adoption of voices, the control of volume and tone, and so on. There will be moments of light and shade throughout the reading, with shifts both across the reading as a whole and within individual sentences. Again, it should be noted that there will not be one correct approach. You are judging how effectively the student brings the reading to life. Next is the criteria of pace and timing. Remember that this is a rehearsed reading, so the student should be in control of its pace. In many cases, this will be guided by the punctuation and language used by the author. As with other criteria, judge the speaker based on how effectively they are able to use these elements to enhance the reading and bring it to life. Finally, there is the criteria of the understanding of the author's intention. This is a very significant aspect of this task. Through their reading of the text, did the speaker convince you that they truly grasped what the author intended? Again, note that there won't be one correct response to this. The same extract can be presented in numerous, yet still highly effective ways. Did the reader convince you that their reading was authentic to the author's intent? A good way to think about this task is that you are a new author at a publishing fair. You need someone to read your novel aloud to gain the interest of a publisher. The only person available to speak is one of these speakers in front of you. So which of them would you trust to read your novel? Again, within the scoring criteria, a 60 is given if the student stands up, 65 if they make a noise, and 70 if they present a reading. A score between 70 and 74 would indicate a weak speech. If this person were reading a novel, then it's probably not going to get taken up and more likely going to be burnt. A score of 75 to 79 indicates an adequate speech. The novel itself had better been outstanding, since the reading really didn't add much. A score between 80 to 84 indicates a good speech. You have hope that someone will have heard it and have found something they liked. A score between 85 and 89 indicates a very good speech. Your novel will likely find a publisher. And a score between 90 and 95 is reserved for an excellent speech. This is the type of reading which, if it were an audiobook, it would need to carry a warning, because you would likely crash your car if you were listening to it because you've become so engrossed in the reading. With this task, students may make extensive uses of notes. There is absolutely no expectation that they will have the extract memorized. This is a reading and it should be read. There is no requirement at all for eye contact in this task. As it is a reading and all of the criteria are about the way in which it has been delivered, a judge should be able to adjudicate this event while blind. It is the quality of their reading that matters. The speaking time for AIDPSC is between 5 and 11 minutes. There is no requirement that a student uses the full 11 minutes, and the extract should be chosen so that it fits within this time. Note that the 11 minutes includes the time given to the introduction, which should be up to 1 minute in length. The rules for Speakfest remain the same as for AIDPSC except for the length of the reading. In Speakfest, the reading should be between 5 and 9 minutes in length. This includes an introduction of up to 1 minute. All other expectations and assessment criteria remain the same as for AIDPSC.